Hi class, my name is Shakinda Dickens, and for the demonstration speech for this week, I am going to show you how to make a salad, a good healthy salad. Some people like lettuce and tomato, but to me that's just not enough. So to get all of your nutrients that you want to maintain good health, I am going to prepare a chef salad, which is going to have chicken, greens, spinach, cucumbers, carrots, red onions, and black olives, and and tomatoes. If I didn't say so, I love them so much, especially the grape tomatoes because they're like really small. You don't have to cut them if you don't want, but they're like juicy, and I just love it. And they're kind of sweet, but not too sweet. So I want to show you the lettuce and the greens that I got. These are protein greens, and it's a mix of pea leaves and baby spinach. Also, I have baby kale with some arugula and greens. Okay, so what you want to do is break those up and put them in the bowl. You want to break them up because some of the leaves you get may be really, really big, but since it's just a salad and you're not like making some extravagant meal, just go ahead and break them up with your hands. Now, before you do any of this, what I did not show you is wash your hands. You want to make sure that you wash your hands under lukewarm water with an antibacterial soap for at least 30 seconds. And if you have trouble counting, say your ABCs out loud or in your head, and by the time you finish, that should be enough time for you to thoroughly wash your hands. So, we've got our greens and spinach here. What I'm going to do next is add the cucumber. Now, what you want to do with the cucumber is cut the end pieces off. I've already done that. So you just cut the end pieces off, and then you want to cut it lengthwise. Okay. Camera.
I got it, it's on there.
Can they see it? Can you see the cucumber?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to cut it lengthwise, which means long ways, horizontally. And you just want to cut it in half like that, to where you have two long pieces of cucumber. Now, I really love cucumber. If you want, you can cut it again. That way you get 2 long strips for each side, so a total of 4. But I like cucumber, and I don't want my bites to be too small, so I'm just gonna leave it at this half length. Now, also I have a peeler. What I'm going to do, because I don't like too much of the skin, is I'm just going to peel some of the skin off. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't like for it to be perfect or all of the skin to be off, just a little bit. I like for the skin to be on because it adds a little bit of texture to it, but it also lets me know that I'm eating fresh cucumber. And they say that most of the nutrients from vegetables and fruits are on the outside versus the end, because when they grow from this part right here. So this has absorbed all of the water and everything. So that's just what it said. Then, so you just wanna, can you see me slicing the cucumber? So I'm gonna move that so you guys can see. Then what you want is just to slice it like that. You can do thin slices or chunks. I like mine medium because I want the bite. I don't like thin pieces of cucumber because thin pieces of cucumber, they're just, there's no bite to it. They just slide all over the bowl, and it's hard to grip with the soap, or it's hard to grip with the fork. So what we're gonna do is put some of these cucumbers in the bowl on top of the leaves. just like so. And you can just throw them in there. You can be delicate and pretty if you want, doesn't matter. Because the salad, the good thing about a salad is it's a mixture of your fruits and vegetables with dressing so you can eat. Next, we'll do some carrot. So with the carrot, I've already peeled off the outer layer, which is when you come from the store, it's like the rough outer layer when it comes straight out of the ground. You don't want to eat that part. So I've already peeled that off with the peeler. So what I'm going to do is cut the end piece off like that, and I'm going to leave this end piece on as a gripper so I can hold it and it'll be sturdy better. Okay, so with the carrot, I don't want my pieces too big, so I'm going to slice it about a little more than halfway down the full carrot. And then, like, let's see, that didn't go all the way through. Like so. So, see how I have this end piece of the carrot, but then I just started to slice down the middle a little more than half of the carrot lengthwise, okay? So you can do that. It's not a perfect cut, but it's a cut. And then I'm gonna turn the carrot sideways and do the same thing. And just cut. Now carrots are pretty tough, so you might need to put some arm work in. Alright, there. We got that done. Now, I'm gonna use my peeler again and just peel some of these carrot pieces right off in the salad. I love carrots. They're sweet, good for you, vitamin K, carotene. And the slicing through the carrot, it just gives you, it saves you time, it makes the carrot smaller so it fits better on the salad and in your mouth. So you just want to turn and peel, turn and peel, turn and peel. Because carrots are thick, it would be a harder crunch if you were just to slice them. And we're not making a soup, so we want them to be thin. Okay, see how that's just going in there like that? Now in a minute, some of these carrot pieces are gonna just fall because it's gonna be too thin. So what I do with that is I usually just eat the piece. Just eat the piece, or I'll just put it on the cutting board and I'll just continue to peel. Just like that. You could peel on the cutting board, but because the carrot is thick and the peeler shaves it, it's gonna go everywhere. So I like to peel it in the hand and just put it on the salad. It saves a mess. All right, so we've got some carrots in there. Next, I'm going to add the onion. So what you want to do is you want to cut your onion. Now, keep the root. You want to keep the root of your onion if you're not going to use the whole thing, because this is where it came from out of the ground. This is where it holds all of the nutrients. This is where it holds everything. This is what keeps the onion together. And since I'm not going to use it, I want it to stay together, but it'll also make sure that it lasts longer. So I'm just going to cut a side piece from the root, like so. So I still have my root intact. Okay. Then you want to peel this outer skin layer off. because this just protects the eating part. This is not what you want to eat. It's like paper, and it's just an outer layer of the onion that protects it so it lasts longer fresh. And I'm just gonna put that in the disposable pile. So, now how you cut your onion depends on like your bite sizes that you want to put in your mouth. Our mouths are not really big, so like the cucumber, you know, a bite size. I'm gonna just slice these long ways, but I'm going to slice one down the middle so it's not too long, so it's not all over the fork, okay? And it'll fit in the bowl. And then you just wanna slice it thin. I like thin slices when it comes to red onions because whenever you pick it up with your fork, you'll pick up an onion with a cucumber, with a tomato, with a piece of lettuce, and a piece of carrot. So the thinner the better. That way, whenever you take a bite, you're biting, you can have a little bit of everything at once. And then you just want to slither them on top of your salad, like so. Okay. Like that. Now, so we've got the onion in there. Now, we'll do some tomato. These tomatoes are really good. I don't want to leave them whole because they're not too small, but you can just pop them in your mouth.
You know, I want to see you eat.
Really, really good. But since they're like really bite-sized, I'm going to cut them in half. That way I can get a little bit of everything in my fork. And then just drop them in the salad like so. So, they're really, really juicy. Some more red in there. And another red. Alright. So, we've got the tomato in there. Now, what I'm going to do is add some black olives. I love the black olives versus the green because the green are really, really big and they kind of taste like a little plasticky to me. And they have that pimento in the inside, which I don't really like. I like the black olives because they are a little more saltier. Well, actually, I think they're less saltier than the green, but they're both salty. So this is just for flavor. So, I'm just going to scoop some olives out. And these are pitted, not sliced. So I'll put some of those on here. There. All right. And you don't want too much because it is salt and that's a lot of sodium. We're going to watch our blood pressure. So, the olives are good. I'm going to move over here and I'm going to get croutons. I like croutons because the crunch, so again the texture, but also it's a bread, so it kind of balances out with the salt from the olives and it just adds a little bit more flavor. need too many croutons because they are crunchy and they can be hard to chew. So, the ranch dressing. This is the dressing that I want today. You can also use any dressing of your choice. Italian, balsamic, or even just lemon juice with olive oil, maybe a little garlic. It's also great on salads, but today I'm going to use ranch. So I'm going to shake that up and just sprinkle some on here. And I know I said I was going to do chicken, but my chicken is warming in the oven, so I want my ranch on first. And what I'm going to do is just mix it. Mix it, and get the dressing all over everything. Coat it really, really well, because I baked some chicken yesterday, so it's already got flavor on it and seasoning and everything. So mix this up, and you just want to turn it around. Go from the outside in and just kind of come up and let it fall. That way everything kind of gets evenly coated, and then you can just go from different angles around the bowl, but you still want to go from the outside in just to make sure that the dressing goes everywhere. This is really, really good. I do private care. I'm a home health aide and I'm a CNA, and I do private care for my work. And a part of that involves not just the personal care, but making sure they eat, following, if they have any restrictions, following those meal plans suggested or ordered by the doctor. Sometimes we have to do pureed foods for those who have swallowing difficulties and cannot chew, or have a hard time chewing, or forget to chew because they might have some memory issues. So what I'll do is I'll make regular food and then put it in a blender, and they love it. Okay, so that looks very well coated. Now, what I'm going to do is add some seasoning, because if you don't have chicken on your salad, the only seasoning you're really going to get is from the ranch. And the ranch doesn't have a lot of seasoning because everyone's specific about what they can and can't eat. So this is more universal. So it doesn't have a lot of salt or sugars or like cilantro or pepper or anything like that. So So what I'm going to put is a little bit of salt, some garlic, granulated garlic, some cilantro leaves to add the freshness, and black pepper. So just sprinkle a little bit, whatever to your liking, not too much. A little garlic. I love cilantro. It just kind of like adds freshness to it, and it just brings out the flavor of everything else. And I didn't have that much in there, as you can see, because I love it. Oh, it's gonna be so good. And just a little salt. I would normally use celery salt because it's a healthier option, but I'm out. So I'm just gonna sprinkle just a little bit of salt. Then what I'm gonna do is toss it one more time. Just toss it. And make sure that gets all around in there. don't like too much dressing. Some people, you know, they want a whole lot here and there, but to me, a little goes a long way, especially when it comes to using lettuce, because lettuce wilts. See, it's already starting to wilt right now because it's absorbing the moisture in the liquid from the ranch. So we're just gonna toss it side to side both ways. Make sure that seasoning is in there. And I did it after, I added the seasoning after the dressing, the ranch dressing, because I didn't want it to go everywhere. And if you have cooked or mixed anything before, you know that sometimes your dry ingredients with your wet, you could have a big old mess. And I'm trying to avoid that. So I'll do that secondly. Next is the chicken. So warmed up some chicken over here. I got a breast, which is left. So what I'm going to do, see, it's soaking up in those juices. Can they see? So it's soaking up in those juices, flavorful. I'm just gonna. If you're cooking for someone else, don't lick your fingers while you cook, because they don't want your germs. But this is my household, and we got the same. So what you're gonna do, because you don't want to just put the whole chicken in there, is we're gonna slice it. I could just shred it with a fork, but to me that just takes forever. So to save time, you want to cut the chicken, and this was from a whole chicken, so you want to make sure that your gristle and bone is out. And you could leave the skin on, you could leave the skin off. It's totally up to you. Some people like the skin, some people don't. So I'm just going to chop up some chicken here. You can break it apart, or you can chop it up. I'm just going to chop it, because then when you lay it on your salad, you can just break it up. And see, it's gonna break up when you cook it. Yeah. You can cut long ways and then come back and cut it sideways. That way it's cubed and you got small pieces. I don't like skin in my salad. It's soggy. Even if it was crunchy, like when you reheat it, it's not gonna be as crunchy as it was when you first cooked it. So I don't put the skin in. So now I'm just gonna take the chicken and just throw it on the salad, like so. All right. So there you have it. The Chef Chicken Salad by yours truly, Chicken Dickens. Thank you. Stay healthy, be safe, and clean. Have a good day.